Hey, welcome back guys. So let's do a little bit of troubleshooting here because we are getting this error here. User has no orders yet, but I know for a fact this user does have orders. So this is the profile page. So let's go to the profile controller, and this is profile data. This is orders over here. So what it means is that this variable isn't giving us what we want. So a good way to troubleshoot is to try and see what's inside the variables. So here I'm just going to say var dump. The reason I like var dump is because it shows you the data type, because there are some times when the result returns false, and if you just try to echo it, you will see nothing on the screen. It will just be empty, and you won't even know that it's echoing anything because false is empty or zero. So when you do var dump, it's going to show you that you're echoing a boolean. So let's see here if we're going to echo anything at all. All right, so it's telling me to log in. No problem. I shall log in without problem. I guess our session has expired. Back to the admin section. Was it the admin section though? Let me go to orders though. If I go to orders and click on the user there, this is what I get. So at the top here, you can see that it's indeed a boolean and it's false. So that's why we're not getting anything. So now we know it's false. It means this didn't return a result. So where is this coming from though? Orders key. What is all this though? Grand total. Okay, so let's go way up to see where we are beginning with this. So either if profile data isn't set, then we automatically send this to false, but we know profile data is set because the user has been displayed. So this one, get orders by user doesn't seem to be working, but we must know that we are passing through this part anyway. So let's do an echo and just type here like that. So let me go back here and let's refresh. Alrighty then. So you can see that we don't get that text which says here, which means we are not going through here at all. So I guess that's where the problem is. So it means this if statement isn't returning true, it's returning false, which leads it to go this way. So then let's go to profile data and see what's inside there. So as usual, I'm going to use var dump. So I'm trying to show you the troubleshooting process so that you can learn to fix your own errors, because learning to fix errors is everything in programming. Once you start getting excited about fixing errors, you'll be a very good programmer. So just get used to it and we'll be fine. So in here we do have data, but this is returning false. So why is that? So maybe it's the wrong check that we are offering here, but I want to see this clearly. So I'm just going to echo some pre-tags here just to confirm what kind of data we are receiving in there. So if I do refresh here, I get, it says object. Now I think var dump is showing too much information. So let's go back to print readable instead, print R like that. At least we get rid of some unnecessary info. There we go. So you can see here it says it's an object. It's not an array, it's an object. So the problem is that we are doing the wrong check here. So let's check for an object instead. If is object like so. For some reason we changed how things are returned. Maybe now we are returning objects. Now if I do refresh, I get everything that I wanted with my orders down here, which is awesome. Now the thing is, if I go to my profile here, I did notice this a bit earlier. If I go to my profile and remove the user ID there, the user URL, and press enter, it will tell me that sorry, that profile could not be found. However, what I want is to be able to load whoever's profile is active at that time, even though the link at the end doesn't have a URL value. So what I will do here is check out where profile data is coming from, and it seems it's coming from here. So this is checking to see if the URL address is actually set before trying to get the user. So what can we do? We can manufacture the URL address. So URL address is there. So here it's equal to no. But let's check what the data type is anyway. So let's do another var dump like so. Very useful function, by the way. And let me refresh this. You see that it says it's a string and it says home. Okay. So then I guess it is going through here, isn't it? Let's try that. Refresh, and it's home. Good. So the problem seems to be we're getting a user and we are looking for a URL address named home, which isn't exactly what we're looking for now, is it? Let me see though, if do we have a variable called URL in capitals like that? Let's see that. Okay, so that's undefined variable because yeah, we don't have that. Okay, at least what we know now is that home is the default when there is nothing there. So all we need to do is check for home. So right here, I'm just going to add an if statement. So I will put URL address. Let's go back here. URL address is equal to. So we're just going to put a check here. We're going to say if the URL address is equal to home. So we'll say URL address is equal to URL address is equal to home, like so. And then we put a question mark, and if it's equal to home, then we are just going to get the default. However, if it isn't, let's set it to its original thing. Now, the default here should be inside the session. So what do we do here? Now I don't want user session to cause an error as well. So what I will do is do this. I'll say session user. I'm not really sure. It's user URL, I think. So user URL is equal to. So we're going to do exactly this kind of thing. So I'll copy this. However, here we're going to ask, is it set? Is set, like so. If this is set, then question mark, let's set it to the same thing. However, if it isn't, let's set to an empty string. What I don't want is to get an error here that it doesn't exist. So I'm just going to copy this because this won't exist if somebody's not logged in. Yeah, I think this solves our problem. So here we are making sure that URL address is set for some reason, whether to the current URL address, user URL, sorry, or it's set to an empty string. And then we make sure that URL address, if it's equal to home, then we change it to our user URL. That way we try and get the required profile. So let me erase. Okay, so as you can see now, even without that link over there, we are good, which means you can now click on account here, because earlier if you clicked on account, you would get this user isn't available. But now you can click there and things will work out. Okay, so I think all this is working out well. Very good, I like this. Alrighty then, so let's just fix this search thingy here, and then we can think about doing a payment system. Yes. All right, I'll see you in the next video.